Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and I have a few announcements to give you today, some really exciting news. But first off, we're going to do a really cute Mother's Day teacup or coffee cup. Now, you're going to start out with a piece of paper that is 5 inches by 8 inches, and I'm just using some of our white cardstock. You're going to put it in your scoreboard, and you're going to score in the center at 4. So just score in the center on that, and then you can put your scoreboard away for a while. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish. Okay, so now we need to make a cutout on this part right here. This is going to be your front part of your card. So I'm going to use this old Creative Memories, I don't know, it was a cutting system that they had back years ago. You can use a plate, just anything to make you a little curve in this front part. I'm going to see if I can get this one straight. Hopefully I can. I'm just going to use my pencil and just kind of go over that and see. Yeah, I think that'll work. So that's all you need right there. So you can freehand it. Put a cup down, a plate, whatever, just to be able to cut that. Now I am going to use my scissors and just trim that out right on that line. Okay, great. That's exactly what we were looking for. See, we just got just a little bit of a dip in the front of that. So just grab a plate, anything that you have that are free-handed that might make that little bit of a dip there. And now what we want to do is round the bottom corners on this. And I'm going to leave mine together and see if I can round it. Yep. Leave it folded up. So I've got those rounded. Now for the handle, you need a piece that is 2.5 by 3. See if I measured that right. Yes, 2.5 by 3. And we're going to drag our scoreboard out again. You wouldn't have to use the scoreboard on this part, but I am, just because I might not fold it straight. And you're going to score in the center. You're going to put it on the 3-inch mark, 3 inches this way, and you're going to score in the center at 1 1/2 inch. Okay, then we're going to fold that up. Okay. Give that a little bit of a burnish. And now what we want to do is we're going to get our ruler, our Tim Holtz ruler here, and we're just going to come in 1/2 inch from 3 of the sides. Now this is our folded corner over here. This is the open part. Leave the open part alone. And just put your ruler on that and mark that. Then do the same thing on the other side. I like the ruler because if I put that 1/2 inch mark right there at the edge of my paper, then I know it is 1/2 inch. Okay, and then go to the top and do the same thing across the top. Making sure, there we go. Okay, so we're going to trim that out. And I'm trimming on the inside of my marks so that I won't have any marks on my paper. And I won't have anything to erase, maybe. Okay, so that's what you have. See, it's beginning to look like a handle. And now, and see, this is our open part down here. We didn't do anything with it. Keep it folded, and you're going to round these corners right here. So just slide it down in there. And round those corners off just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and glue this in. I think I want my handle about right there. I'm going to use some art glitter glue. You can use the glue of your choice. I'm going to run a little bit of glue around the edge of this. I'm not going to glue the whole thing together because it's going to be a little card pocket. But we're going to run some glue around the edge and not glue the top. We're not going to glue the top. Okay, we're going to, whoops, looks like we're going to throw that in the glue. We're going to go ahead and glue our handle together. So just put some glue on the inside of that and glue him together. And now you want to put your handle down about where you think that you're going to need it. And I think my handle will look good about right. Whoops, about right there. Let's see. Let's close it up and look at it. I think I want it down a little bit further. It's a good thing about the art glitter glue. You can always move it shortly. It does dry pretty quick, but you can always move it a little bit. So let's slide that in just a little bit more. Make it a little bit even there. Okay. So, beginning to look like our coffee cup, right? I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it inside this embossing folder. And this is just different kind of leaves. So I'm going to put it all the way in there. Right up to the edge. You're going to have just a tiny bit of your handle sticking out, but that's going to be perfectly fine. Not going to be a problem. And then I'm going to put it in my Big Shot and run this through, and I will be right back. So look at that. Isn't that cute? I think it is. Okay. So we're going to lay this aside for a moment, and we're going to do some stamping. Now I have this stamp set from Avery L, and that's the stamp set. And it has this beautiful floral arrangement thing here, and then it says Happy Mother's Day. We're going to stamp this and color it, and then we're going to stamp this on some paper as well. Now I'm going to use some of the Tim Holtz watercolor paper on the smooth side to stamp this. And I already had it on here, but we're going to pull it off and position it. So, I want it to stamp about right there. Pull that up. Okay, and I'm going to use some Memento ink because I am going to be coloring this. And the reason I'm stamping it using my Misty is because this is watercolor paper, so it's not really smooth. It has a little bit of texture to it. So if I don't get a good impression the first time, I can stamp it again and don't have to worry about trying to line it up. Let's do a little bit more, but it looks like it's a pretty good impression. That stamp is really detailed and it's really pretty. So we'll do one more. There we go. That's beautiful. Okay, clean that off a little bit. And we'll go ahead while we have our Misty out and we'll stamp Happy Mother's Day as well. So let's take this off and put in a piece of, this is just a scrap piece of paper. Not going to do any coloring on this, so this is going to work just fine. I'm going to line that up right there. And then again, I'm going to use some Memento. Don't you see what I did? I stamped it upside down. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to cut that out anyway. I didn't even pay attention. But that's the good part. I'm going to cut it out so it didn't really matter if it was right side up or upside down. Okay, there we go. It's really good. Okay, so that's stamped really pretty. Now we're just going to cut that out, and I'm just going to use my trimmer. Okay, so now that we have all of that stamped, let's do a little bit of coloring, and I'm going to use my Nuvo markers. And I think I'm just going to use some pink, some light green, and then I'm going to use my glitter pen, the Nuvo glitter pen, to put it on my paper. I don't carry these directly to my paper because for some reason I get way too much ink on there. So I'm going to put a little bit on my mat. I'm going to put a little pink out there. And then I may put a little red in there too, just to get a little bit of depth in there. So I'm going to put those out. And then we're just going to take our glitter pen, and I'm going to start off with the green. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that and just color it in. And this is going to put down the glitter and our color. Okay, I'm going to put down just a tiny bit of this dark green and just mix those two together. That dark green to me is a little bit too dark for what I like, but it's okay if you mix the two. So we'll pick up a tiny bit of that dark green, just so that we can have some shadows, a little bit of shadowing in here. Now, to clean off your glitter pen when you get through with one color, just wipe it across some tissue or paper towel and it'll clean right back up. Then you're ready to go in with your next color. Now we're just going to go in with a tiny bit of brown for these little, I guess they're acorns. I don't know what they are. They look like acorns. And it's not going to take but a touch. Okay, so there is our image completely colored, and I think you can see the glitter that's in there. Now, I want to show you over here, I had some bleeding of my Memento ink. And the reason I did is because I didn't wait for my ink to completely dry before I started coloring. I'm very impatient like that. So let your ink completely dry and make sure that you use a good ink, a good stamping ink for watercoloring, and then you won't have any of that bleeding. I'm going to go ahead and use this on this one. If I'm going to give it out, I'll go ahead and stamp it again, but I have so many people that say, please leave mistakes in, because we want to see that you make a mistake and, you know, let us know how you correct it. So that is my mistake, and the way I would correct it is just stamp it again and redo, since I was so impatient. But see the glitter that put in there along with the color? Isn't that pretty? So just let your ink completely dry before you start coloring. That's the trick. And now we're going to take this, I'm going to let that dry, but as soon as it dries, I'm going to take this die from Avery Elle as well, and it goes with this. It's the Happy Mother Day die. And I'm going to cut that out. That way I don't have to fussy cut it. So this does. Okay, so we used our die and we cut that out. Isn't that pretty? And I took my Sharpie marker. This is the fine tip. I love this thing. And I just went around where my ink had bled just a tiny bit. I just went around and made my lines just a little bit thicker so that you couldn't really tell that. And I will definitely use this one. Always a way you can fix it. Alright, so this is going to be our front. So what we're going to do is put that down there, and then we're going to put that there. Okay, to make this where it's going to show up, I'm going to mat it, but I'm going to trim off just a tiny bit off of the ends, because this is going to be just exactly the length or the width of our teacup. Okay, so I'm going to mat this on some of this beautiful coral cardstock that kind of matches up with that. So I'm going to put that down right there. I'm just going to use some art glitter glue. So then we will put that right there. And I'm going to use some of our foam tape to put this up on. Love this stuff. Just pull our backing off this foam tape. And I'm going to put that right. I think I have a little piece of tape showing right there. Just trim that off. I'm going to put that right there. And then we will put the Happy Mother's Day right below that. Ooh. Let's see if we got that straight. Oh yeah. Okay, and then of course we have to have some bling. So let's just do a couple of these iridescent pearls, and they kind of take on the color that is surrounding them. Okay, we just decided to put one in all four corners of that. Okay, I think that is about finished. Now you have this part where you could slide a gift card down in there, money, whatever, or you know those little packets of the flavored drinks. You could slide those in there. These are not actually the flavored drinks. This is actually Splenda that I carry around in my purse for my husband because he won't drink anything that has anything else in it. So, you could actually slide those in there. And a gift card too if you wanted to. But isn't that cute? And that is a sweet Mother's Day gift. I will make one of these for each of my daughters. Shh, don't tell them. But that is it. It's completely finished and ready to go. You could slide this in an envelope and mail them if you wanted to. But I think they're absolutely adorable. Like I said, put a gift card down in there, some cash or whatever. And they have a beautiful card cup. Okay, now it's time for us to talk about the announcements. There is going to be a National Scrapbook Day sale. I've had lots of people who have messaged me and asked, are you going to have a sale this year? Yes, we are. We're going to have two different types of sales. One of the sales, both of the sales will be on Saturday. May the 6th, both of the sales will be that day and that day only. The first sale will be, you have to get a code that I'm about to slide across the screen right here. When you see that code go across the screen, copy it down. That code will be good for 20% off of one entire order. No matter how big the order is or how small, you'll get 20% off if you use that code. That code is good for the Facebook sale shop and the online store. Now again, that code will go across the screen right here. It'll post a couple of times before I get through talking. If you don't get it, please don't share it with everybody out there. I want everybody to have a fair chance to get in on the sale, but I want everybody to follow the rules as well. Okay, the second sale will be on Saturday. We will, at 12 noon Central Standard Time, we will go live on our Facebook group, and we will be having some giveaways. We'll be having some 25% off sales. We'll tell you a particular item or show you a particular item and give you a link to it, and then the first person or the third person or the fifth person or whatever we say that goes over and says me and gives the code on that particular item, you will get 25% off of that item. Now, we will give all of the rules and everything Saturday morning before we go live. So make sure that you're on the Facebook group, Scrapbooking with Me Boutique, and make sure that you go ahead and join now so that you can read all the rules and find out exactly how everything works. At the end of this video, we will also show you the photo that you should be receiving in your newsletter tonight that will show you the links to where the sales are going to be and give you a little bit more information. But remember, that code that you see going across the screen, you need to copy that down, because that code will have to be used before you can get your 20% discount. No going back after you say me. If you don't use the code, no going back and saying, oh, I forgot, I didn't post it. It's only a one-time shot. You either say it when you say me, or when you make your purchase on the online store, you put it in the coupon code when you start to check out, and that's the way it's going to work. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to watch right at the end of this video for the photo that'll pop up and show you about the sale, the National Scrapbook Day sale. That will be on Saturday at Scrapbooking with Me. We will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.